What happens when the greatest trash talker in NBA history meets the future GOAT? The result? It doesn't end well for Jordan. This wasn't just a battle of talent. This was psychological warfare. Larry Bird wasn't loud. He was surgical. And when a young, confident Michael Jordan crossed paths with him, he didn't just lose the mental game, he avoided it entirely. That tells you everything you need to know. The guy who would one day rip opponents apart with words and fake rivalries couldn't handle what Bird was bringing, not even a little. Subscribe for more untold NBA stories, and stick around to see what happened the next time they faced off. Michael Jordan, already hailed as the most talented player ever, had to warn his entire team about one guy. Not Magic, not Kareem, not a dominant big man, but a tall white guy from Indiana who looked more like a farmer than a superstar. Think about that. Michael Jordan, the king of mind games, was so spooked by Bird's trash talk that he banned his teammates from talking to him. Why? Because Bird could flip the switch on anyone. You say one thing, he uses it as fuel. You laugh at a joke, he drops 30 on you. Jordan knew that once Bird got into your head, it was over. Silence was the only defense. And it started before Jordan was even in the NBA. Back in 1984, during an Olympic exhibition game, Jordan was still in college. He was leading the young squad, while Bird and Magic were representing the NBA vets. At one point, the ball bounced over to the pro side. Jordan casually jogged over to grab it, probably expecting the usual courtesy toss back. But Larry Bird didn't do courtesy. He picked up the ball, looked Jordan straight in the eyes, and kicked it over his head. Jordan later remembered that moment clearly. My world, and welcome to it. Bird was showing me it was all business now, and I was beneath it. I didn't forget. Look, Jordan was putting up numbers that didn't even feel real. But while he was lighting up the scoreboard, Larry Bird was doing something that mattered more: winning. Let's talk playoffs first. Jordan never beat Bird in the postseason. 2 back-to-back sweeps in 1986 and 1987. That's not just a bad record, that's total domination. And even in the regular season, Bird still had the edge. 17 wins to Jordan's 11. Now, Jordan was still doing Jordan things. He averaged 34.6 points per game in those head-to-heads. But Bird? He wasn't flashy. He was just dead effective. 26.9 points, 8.6 rebounds, and most importantly, the W. Larry Bird didn't just dominate you. He told you how he was going to do it, then made you watch. Even NBA stars couldn't believe it. December 30th, 1986. Celtics versus Sonics. Game tied. Under 10 seconds left. Bird walks up to Xavier McDaniel, calm as ever, and says, "I'm going to get the ball right here and shoot it right in your face." McDaniel knew it. Everyone knew it. But it didn't matter. Bird caught the inbound, one dribble, jab step, fade away from 18 feet. Splash. Game. And the coldest part? Bird was pissed. He left 2 seconds on the clock. He didn't just want the win, he wanted the walk-off. That's how ruthless he was. That's how precise his game was. It was Game 2 of the 1986 playoffs. Michael Jordan just dropped 63 points on the Boston Celtics, breaking Elgin Baylor's playoff scoring record that had stood for 24 years.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record. Oh, boy.
And Larry Bird had front row seats to all of it. After the game, Bird didn't hold back. "I didn't think anyone was capable of doing what Michael has done to us. He is the most exciting, awesome player in the game today. I think it's just God disguised as Michael Jordan." That quote has gone down in history, one of the most legendary lines ever said on a basketball court. But here's the twist. Bird said that after the Celtics won, in double overtime. Final score? 135-131 Boston. So while Jordan looked like a one-man basketball god, Bird reminded everyone who was still in charge. He gave Jordan the biggest compliment possible while handing him the loss. This wasn't just trash talk, it was Bird talk. And even Jordan had his limits. When rookie B.J. Armstrong joined the Bulls, he was still finding his footing in the league. But Larry Bird didn't care. The first time he saw him, Bird looked straight at the rookie and said, "I can't believe they're letting kids from junior high into the NBA." Armstrong was ready to fire back, but he didn't get the chance. Michael Jordan cut it off cold. "Nobody, not a word. You don't talk to Larry Bird." That was the unspoken rule. You don't engage. You don't give him ammo. You just hoop. But Bird, he loved pushing buttons. Come on, Michael. Let these kids get in on the fun. Jordan couldn't stand it. Not because he was afraid, but because he knew Bird could beat you before the game even started, just by talking. You know how rare it is for Michael Jordan to praise someone else, especially when it comes to mental toughness. But years later, MJ laid it out plain as day. Larry Bird is the greatest trash talker and mind game player of all time. He taught me everything I know about getting in folks' heads. That's not just respect, that's acknowledgement. From Michael Jordan, the same guy who made a career out of mentally destroying defenders, openly admitting that Larry Bird got to him first. And it wasn't just Jordan. Gary Payton, another all-time trash-talking master, once said, "Bird used to tell me, look here mate, I'm going to go shoot this jump in your face right there in that corner, and it's going to be your Christmas present. I'm going to wrap it up and bust your head open." He was the coldest dude I've ever seen. That's next level. Bird wasn't just talking, he was predicting shots like a psychic and then drilling them right in your face. No celebration, just pure cold confidence. And here's where it hits even harder. Larry Bird didn't just beat Jordan physically, he mentally rewired him. Those early playoff beatdowns in the 80s, they were more than just losses. They exposed something Jordan didn't fully understand yet, that basketball wasn't just about talent. Bird showed him that mental warfare mattered, that being brilliant alone wasn't enough. You had to elevate everyone around you, control the tempo.
Bird won't go. Bird the rebound. Over his head to McHale.
And yes, get inside people's heads. Without Larry, maybe MJ never becomes that guy. No killer instinct, no ruthless trash talk, no championship mindset, because before Jordan became the master of mind games, he was the student and Bird was the teacher. Here's the truth. Michael Jordan became the greatest player of all time. No debate there. But Larry Bird, he was the sharpest mind the game has ever seen. Jordan beat you with athleticism and willpower. Bird beat you before the ball even tipped. MJ could soar, he could score. But Larry, he'd live rent-free in your head for 4 quarters, and then some. And that's why even Jordan had to set personal boundaries when it came to Bird. Seriously, he made rules for himself to avoid getting mentally wrecked by Larry Legend. That's how deep it got. Because in the one-on-one of psychological warfare, Michael Jordan just couldn't handle what Larry Bird was serving. Larry Bird didn't just outplay Michael Jordan, he outsmarted him. In a league stacked with elite athletes, Bird separated himself as the ultimate mental assassin. He got in Jordan's head before the game even started, controlled the court with his mouth, and left legends speechless. Jordan may have become the GOAT, but before he dominated the league, he had to endure Bird. Every unspoken rule, every respectful silence around Bird, that was acknowledgement. Bird won the mental war so decisively, even Jordan couldn't deny it. Because before Jordan broke the league, Larry Bird broke him. So what happens when the future GOAT faces the greatest trash talker of all time? He learns the game is won, not just with talent, but with your mind. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, is Larry Bird the greatest trash talker in sports history?